EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the third leg of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Orlando Classic. Welcome to the King's Palace. This is Rich Loader alongside Frank Nobilo, set to bring you all the action for EA Sports. Today, we're here at Arnold Palmer's Bay Hill Club and Lodge. Frank, it's right in the heart of Orlando, Florida. You've played this course before. What do you need to look out for?
Ideally, you've got to hit the ball with a high, soft landing flight, which is not a shot that most amateurs have in their bag. But Florida courses, they differ from a lot of the other courses within North America, and what they lack in change of elevation, they make up in difficulty by the use of water and very firm greens.
It is a par 72 with a tough finishing stretch. Beautiful looking shot right here. .315. Probably going to have to hit one more club here, Frank. A little bit uphill.
This looks like it's going to find the target.
Birdie try up next. Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Frank, that's a par, and onward we go. Now to the 11th hole, as we pick up with our featured golfer. Frank, nothing spectacular to this point in the first round. What does the player need to do just to kind of generate some momentum?
I actually think they're playing all right, Rich. It's just, you compared to the top of the leaderboard, you start to think, well, maybe they're struggling. But there's ebbs and flows in this game. At the moment, it's just sort of almost like a holding pattern. But it's time to change that.
Now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. That ball's sitting up. You can bring it in high. You can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Just a couple of feet.
Well, after that birdie, has to be feeling as though they're not out of it just yet.
They're not far away from the first page of the leaderboard. A couple more birdies.
Teeing it up here on the 12th, 574-yard par 5, Frank.
Another one that's reachable, obviously long and straight. That rough down the right side, though, is normally very thick. Avoid the 2 bunkers, lots of contours and undulations around this green.
Right out of the center of the bat.
Did you hear that?
Good tee shot right in the fairway and plenty long. Now the second shot to the par 5. Frank, Tiger won here 4 times in a row from 2000 to 2003, and in all, he's won it 8 times. Why is his game so well suited to Bay Hill?
Bay Hill just suits somebody that can fly the ball through the air and land it soft, because these greens get very, very firm. And obviously they get slick, so you've got to be a great fast green putter. If you're long, that certainly helps. That sounds like the MO of a certain Tiger Woods.
Oh, no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is going, gone.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
And getting ready for the putt. Frank, nothing like an eagle to sort of change the complexion of a player's outlook.
It's certainly going to change the number of zeros on the paycheck at the end of this week.
Moves into the top 15 after making an eagle right there. At the par 4 13th now, this is a hole, Frank, that requires some smart club selection. What are the options here?
Yeah, very sneaky par 4. That bunker on the right is 250 yards or so off the tee. So you've either got a choice to play short of that or sneak it down the end, which is about 300 yards. But if you try and be bold here and miss the fairway, that second shot, evil. Ah, nice.
Looks good. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag. There's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Sensational effort at eagle. Not a good move on the leaderboard.
That name up there in bright lights. Interesting to see if that gets a little attention.
14th hole, Frank, more than 200 yards, par 3. This is no picnic.
No, it plays a little longer than that too, slightly uphill. You've got to carry the ball onto the front of the screen. It will not run up.
Midway through this back nine, could use this birdie here at the 14th. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read.
Wow, I thought he made that. Wrong time to be leaking oil here at the 14th hole, Frank.
Well, to state the obvious too, that was very makeable. That's the one you'd expect to make more often than not. That's going to hurt.
Just 5 feet left.
Frank, a solid par right there, maintains his position.
So that concludes round 1. Frank, what's the mindset after this first day?
Well, the important thing is just try and play smart, get a feel for the golf course. That's what you try and do on the opening round. And now that the players have seen it, we should see some better scores tomorrow.
EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the third leg of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the Orlando Classic.
Excellent opening tee shot. That ball right in the fairway.
Now the approach here at number 1, Frank, what's he looking at?
A nice high, soft landing second shot would be ideal here. There's a little bit of a ridge in this green. Don't really want to be going long here. Those two bunkers, never easy coming out of those and downhill.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. Playing beautiful golf. 8 under for the tournament.
Back to the second hole here at Bay Hill. Frank, long par 3.
And that green slopes so much from right to left, so you can actually use the contours of the green here.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. So on the putting surface, and taking a good look now at this birdie putt here at the second.
Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this. How did that not go in?
Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, little change in the attitude right now. You've let one go. You've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important that this one goes in.
And that's in for a par. Frank, now to the third hole here at Bay Hill. If you have a case of the snap hooks, you're in some serious trouble here.
You're going to run out of golf balls here as well, but a good tee shot's going to leave you something like 150, 160 yards into a very narrow green.
So that sets up a tougher second shot, missing the fairway with the drive, now in the rough.
Ends up in the first cut, and he'll have a pretty good look at the hole location from here.
Just making a mockery of the field now. Another eagle.
Rich Lerner with Frank Nobilo back at the fourth hole here at Bay Hill. This is the first par 5 on the golf course. 561 yards. You thinking birdie here, Frank?
No, you certainly are. Perhaps even 3. This is almost ramrod straight. Little hazard down the right side. But a good one, you can certainly get home for 2. Oh, that's got to be 300 yards, isn't it?
Okay, the second shot now at this par 5. Tasty looking right there from just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Safely aboard. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. And who knows? It is a 4-round tournament, setting himself up for a good weekend, maybe a great one. The young star makes his birdie. Frank, at the fourth, we pulled the hammer out. Here, maybe it's a scalpel?
Well, it just depends. A little trailing breeze. A drive is not always a bad play here. 367 yards to the front. There's a little kick forward. So, wind behind your back, almost worth a go. I tell you, there's long and long. And that, with a little bit of breeze behind, it's long.
He rode the wind there to payday. He's going to have a good look coming up. Frank, nice to have a short iron into a par 4 here at Bay Hill, but still no guarantee that you'll make the birdie or even par.
But a reward for a good one, exactly the way you've described it. This is one hole that's a swing hole. Hit a good shot in here, you're going to have inside 10, 15 feet for a birdie. Make a mistake, then all of a sudden you're scratching your head. How did I make 5?
Birdie try again here today. Racking them and stacking them. That's 12 under par now for the tournament. Frank, back in 1998, by any chance, do you remember exactly how many golf balls John Daly hit into the water at the 6th?
It was half a dozen. half a box of golf balls.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards.
Oh, looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
Just averted danger right there. So close.
What is here really like?
And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall.
Frank, talk to us about the 6th hole here at Bay Hill. Intimidating to look at as
I don't want to talk about it, Rich. I don't like the look of the hole. It's too tough. It intimidates everybody.
I can't imagine what players would be feeling walking up to this tee box.
Yeah, stand there. You'll find out.
EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the third leg of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Today it's live third-round coverage of the Orlando Classic.
Well, this one has a chance to be really good. Frank, this is a way to make golf easy when you can hit it that deep.
Oh, I'm going to say, I know that first number's a 3. I'm guessing the second one's a 2. Let's call it 320.
Good swing, good shot yet again. And a chance for eagle after that perfectly played shot.
This is an awkward length.
Makes it right in the center. Frank, what's the play here off the tee? Is it driver, or do you play it safe with an iron?
A lot of the times that's predicated by the wind, Rich. If you've got a trailing breeze, driver is very much in play. Otherwise, just poke a little iron down the right side.
Not the best shot, this one in the rough, but still will have a play from there. Frank, what's the best way to get at the golf ball when it's sitting down just a bit in the rough?
You have to accept the fact, first and foremost, that you're not going to get clean contact. So you have to decide whether the ball's going to come out short or it's going to fly. Because very rarely will it come out the normal distance of what you hit on the fairway. So if it's a little thin and wispy, chances are it might fly. If it's nestled down, you're going to have to take at least another club. I mean, the skill, and that was sublime.
Just good hands, coming out of the rough, able to manage the distance, and now in great position.
Everybody loves him. Birdie on the card.
Frank, the par 5-6, this is the signature hole here at Bay Hill.
You've got to really pick a line here, Rich. There's a big pine tree down there. On that line, 260 yards gets it to the fairway.
How important, Frank, is the line off of this tee? Because if you hit it well, but you hit it a little too far left, you're probably going to be wet.
You've got to know exactly how far you carry that driver. Otherwise, you've got no idea which line to take.
Excellent start off the tee. That's a great way to begin this hole. And now the second shot here at this par 5. Couldn't have done much better than that. An eagle is very possible. You love to watch him disappear, don't you? Now at the par 3-7, Frank, it's just under 200 yards.
It's still quite daunting. A very narrow entry on that left side. So you've got to hit the ball flush off the tee. Really guarantee a carry of that over that right bunker. So it's still a daunting tee shot. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Frank, not just a player, but an artist. Just beautiful work right there.
The only thing I can say, Rich, is that was Seve-esque.
Good putt. Frank, in golf, there's nothing quite like the final round of a hotly contested championship, and this one could be a doozy.
And there's nothing quite like that leaderboard I'm looking at right now. We are going to have some amazing golf. This one is going to have to be won.
EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the third leg of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Orlando Classic.
Right out of the center of the bat.
Did you hear that? Oh, that's fine.
Frank, the handicap system in golf really is the great equalizer, isn't it?
Yeah, there's no sport like it. I can't imagine going to Wimbledon and playing, sort of Djokovic or Federer or, playing NFL with Peyton Manning. But, the beauty of golf, we can go out in a golf course. We decide what our handicaps are on the first tee. We decide who's going to get strokes, and then off you go and play. And you play on a level playing field.
That is classy.
Well, a chance of going in. Chance for back-to-back.
Oh, yeah, he's made it for a birdie. The Bay Hill Club and Lodge features a really exciting finishing stretch. 16 is a reachable par 5. You'll see eagles and birdies there coming home. 17, a very difficult par 3 over the water. The bunker is there. Takes an excellent shot. And then 18 is all you want. We know that with the water in front. That second shot which comes over the lake. And that's a hold-your-breath moment. It is a great finishing 3-hole stretch at Bay Hill. What a tremendous display of power and precision. Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid.
crucial eagle attempt on the way. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Right in the heart.
Always like this par 3, Frank. Par 3 17th. Let me amend that. I like watching the best in the world play it because it can be daunting, especially with the pressure ratcheted up.
When they have the tournament on, this green is brick hard. It's a little bit downhill. That's about the only advantage you get.
You cannot hide the flagstick from that man inside 5 feet. He really likes this hole. Made birdie yesterday, and he'd do it again today. Man.
He just pushed it.
And that hurts. That's the idea. Just knock it in.
Frank, the 18th here at Bay Hill. This is a chance to be a hero, but it could all go horribly wrong, couldn't it?
Yeah, this is another hole and a great example of it's never over until it's over.
Excellent drive, Frank. Right where you want to be.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Oh, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been.